Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here. It is late on Friday evening, and I'm just doing a quick recap video. I'm going to run through this as quick as I can and just try to get to the meat of it. So we'll draw zones again today, and if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'd encourage you to go back and watch that, as I'll go into a little more depth on that. But yeah, so we've got this zone here. We'll draw from the high yesterday. I'd probably do something. I'll just draw that whole thing there. The low of yesterday we will draw as well. And since the low of Wednesday was a little bit below it, we'll include both those into the same zone. If you're not familiar with this is how Casey teaches in the Team 2 Discord, so I'm just mimicking that as well. So as we're opening Friday, we wouldn't be looking at that yet, but yeah, we knew we were going to be here, so those two would be good on bottom. I see a lot of people in Discord talking about how we get our get a higher zone, because look, on the 15-minute, you can go back and back and back, and there's nothing here. And so I believe on TradingView, it won't even go that far back. It's been over a year, I think, since we've been up here. So if you go on the 1 hour, yeah, so this is where I'd start looking for the next zone. Maybe get on the 1 hour and kind of just look for that high. Let's see how much. So I'd probably just do something like that. Maybe. Yeah, something like that I think's fair. I don't even know if there's anything farther back than that. We'd be coming up to maybe this low here. Yeah, there's a nice little low there. You could probably come back and draw one like maybe like that, something like that. So that's kind of how you do it when you have to go that far back. You probably have to go on a little higher time frame and just kind of find the highs and lows and clear areas when price isn't giving us an area recently on our 15 minutes. So let's go all the way back now and switch back to the 2-minute and look at Friday's action. It's Friday? Yep, okay. So let's see here. So we come out of the open and it's actually pretty choppy. EMAs are in the right direction. It looks like, hey, let's move up to this zone, but rejected right at the top of our zone. So we're kind of just waiting here. I mean, I always say, hey, I don't like to take steep drops, but on a drop like this, I don't hate it, because it kind of gives you this other point to connect to your trend line, and maybe play the reclaim here, and you almost get a point there. But what I really like is when it comes in and then puts in like a lower high here, and you've got this right here. You got this new trend line. You could make this. You could draw something here as well. And this is kind of compressing in here, and then boom, it breaks out here right off your 13. There's a perfect entry. And you're hoping, okay, let's get it out of the zone. So it gets through, and then it kind of comes back and back tests. So I'd probably hold through this, to be honest, because if you get in down here at 425.50, you're still $1 up here. So you're losing some premium here, but it's kind of we got through. Let's see if it holds back. Nothing closes back in the zone, and you can ride that up. So really good move there. You could be one and done on a Friday or pretty early in the day in the first couple hours of open. So then we kind of made it to the next zone, like we talked about. We get out of one zone, we're looking for a move up to the next, and we absolutely did. Was it hard to catch? Maybe. Yeah, we didn't really have a clear pullback to 13. Here we finally pulled back quick and dropped almost to the 48. If I remember right, I think I saw Casey saying he was watching this one. I can't remember if this was the one or not, and I was looking at it too, but it never made it fully back to the 48, and so I don't think I ended up playing it. This is one of those steep ones I don't really like playing, but you could have caught the bottom from the rest of the day basically there, if you wanted to hold through this, but I doubt you would have. So again, I would probably be doing the same thing we did over here. Let's wait and see. If this comes up and gets through, then fine, we may miss it and we'll look for something else. But it kind of just creates this trend line that's got all this resistance in it. And then as soon as it pushes off here, I'm probably getting in here. and it's 427.35, and so it comes back a little. You'd be down a little, and then it just really gets a nice push up here to 428. So you'd probably be exiting in some of this chop here, maybe not getting all the move, but there was another nice move there. They were pretty choppy. The EMAs are getting closer. They actually cross here to the downside. We get into our zone. Yeah, it's late in the day there, so not looking too much. Yeah, let's just look. I'm not going to draw the zones on Qs because it is so hard. Let's just look at the price action today, and I'll see if I have any. Actually, at first glance, it's looking like it's a. I didn't trade Qs any today, I don't believe, but man, it was a pretty tough price action. I wonder what this looks like. Sometimes I draw these out of. Oh, that was nice. That was really nice, actually. So you can draw these where they have multiple touches out of the pre-market. Granted, you wouldn't be able to trade it till right here at open, but like as it comes out and it kind of has this inside bar, it's like a 3-bar play out of open. You could take it on the break of that high. What was that? 353 up to 355. So that was a nice little move. So then it just sells off hard. On these where there's kind of a little consolidation or a few candles here, actually basically flagging back to the 200. If I ever remember right, this might have been one that Casey took here. I think he did, because I really like this one because it broke the 200 and then it kind of flagged back to it and then just sold off quick. So you could have had like a little trend line right here, just flagging up. I wonder what the volume there was. It might be high with that tall wick, but yeah, it got really low on the next one. So anyways, but what I was gonna say is you could put a trend line like when it comes up, fights back and kind of makes this and sells off. I'd probably be looking at something like that. Look at that. Breaks through your EMAs, you're home free, you get in there and ride that up. So, and then after that, you're just chopping all day. I wouldn't be trying to find anything in most of that action. How can you stay out of that? Once you get the move up and it's kind of fighting back. I mean, you could have. Actually, I take that back. The way this kind of came back and tested and then kind of pushed back through the EMAs, that's not a bad. That's a clear trend line break here and off the 13. That's not a bad move there. So you wouldn't have got a ton out of it. But then once this high's hit and we're kind of selling back off, just going to kind of draw a, almost like a zone and almost like an intraday zone, a real tight one. Something like that. And then this comes back to it. And here, I might draw something like, because we've had some lows there, maybe like that. It might be getting a little, but just something to say, look, we're stuck between these now, and if we don't get out, there's no point in trading. Let's get some direction. So you may play that move up, and then as it gets there, you're creating that high one. You kind of got this low one here from this wick and the bottom of these candles and this little bottom. Just stay out of it, man. That's all chopped there. So just hopefully that helps you identify some of it. So anyways, that wraps it up. Again, hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for watching. If you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. It's at Mr. Clutch Trades. I try to post a lot of other stuff on there as well when I can. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you Monday.